first question is, why do you feel like you're the best candidate for this seat, District 2?
Well, as currently live in the Catascadero, I've been there approximately 20 years. I've never been a politician. I never thought I wanted to run for office. And I will just say very simply, I got a call from God to go forward. It was I had no intention of doing this. Actually, I don't like a lot of what politics is about, but I got called up and I said, okay, Lord, I'm going to go do this. Did my homework. I looked at who's running and what the issues are, and I see the county. My main concern is the county has a lot of issues. I think it's dysfunctional in many ways, and so I bring 30 years United States Marine Corps. I was a helicopter pilot in Vietnam for a year. I fought. I know how to conduct myself under fire. I have a master's degree in educational administration from UC Santa Barbara. I am a small business owner currently, and one of the important things, I'm also a licensed building contractor. It's not active, but I understand the building process and how it works, and I'm very concerned in the county, and I've been out knocking on doors and talked to a lot of people, contractors, builders, and people are very unhappy about the treatment they get, about the fees they're paying, fees that I feel many are not warranted. So one of my things is the building department. I also want to feel that I think the Board of Supervisors need to be held accountable for some of the things they've done. Shutting down our businesses? Absolutely not. I will stand up against that as well as other issues.
And so this will lead right into my next question. What are the main points of your campaign, main elements that you're running on?
Well, of course, the two things that the Board of Supervisors has to do is land use and water use. The water is a very multifaceted issue. I think it's something that it's evolving, it's moving. I think the county's moving in a good way in many directions. However, I'm for the small guy. If you look at the California state constitution, which in many ways is stronger than our U.S. Constitution, has a lot of very, very good things in it. Well, water, you own the water rights. Due to the state of California Constitution, you own the water rights all the way down to the core of the earth. Okay, so now you bring in the outside people and you start bringing in people that can, bigger people that can get in and take that straw and go get the little guy's water. So when you come to water banking, here's my thought. He was the biggest bank account wins. I do not believe in water banking. I think that there's a lot of things we can all work together, the small guy and a big guy and the little guy, so that the little guy can basically get the water he needs, be able to flush his toilet, because that's a problem. And I have some good ideas, and I bring the skills because I know how to execute. We get an issue, we work together, and then we come up with solutions, real solutions. And I'm running as a constitutional conservative, as I said, which means common sense values. Don't spend money we do not have. Fewer regulations. I mean fewer regulations. We're getting regulated to death. So those are some of the issues that I feel strongly about.
And speaking of issues, what do you think, and you hit on, I'm sure, water, but what do you think are some of the other main issues?
Well, of course, the homeless issue, and I have some really good thoughts on that. It's a multifaceted issue also. There are varying degrees of homelessness, those that are just barely homeless, the people that are basically healthy, they have jobs, they maybe can't afford it. Some of them are living in the back of their cars. Then you have people that are at the next level that have been homeless for a while, and many of them are on drugs and alcohol, and then you have those that are really addicted that really have the problems. And so you need to look at each of those differently. I've interviewed Sheriff Parkinson for an hour. I've interviewed Dan Dow, the DA, and they've given me some ideas of how what we need to do, and so I can't get to detail now, but I do have I feel a good understanding. There's been a revolving door with homelessness in the county. We keep throwing money at it, coming back, oh, we're going to fix this, we're going to fix that. But the one thing you ought to keep in mind, half the people do not want to come in and get help. So you don't write them off, but you got to deal with reality. but these people need to be held accountable. And what the problem is with the AB 47 going through, the sheriff can't take, when they can't, these people commit a misdemeanor, they can't lock them up. Dan Dow and the sheriff say, if we can lock them up for 90 days, as we could in the past, we can get them clean enough and then get them the help they need. But putting them back out on the street 2 nights after you put them in jail, it's making the problem worse.
You touched on water, homelessness. Is there anything else specific to District 2? I mean, obviously there's 5 districts in the county, but something that's really, that you didn't already hit on, that you would focus in on here at District 2?
Yes, but I'll have to answer that question. It affects the whole county, it affects our country. I've been to a number of different, I've talked to a number of people about fentanyl, the problem we have in this community. Fentanyl is a major, major problem. We are losing our children, are dying from this throughout this country. And so one of the things I want to do is help get the Nancy Reagan old program called the DARE program, remember, about drugs. And we got to get into the schools and we have to teach these kids what's going on, because this fentanyl is getting passed around. It's getting laced in whether it be they're smoking it together, not knowing. So we need to educate our kids. And whether I win this or not, I plan on winning, but as a citizen, I've already talked to people about how we're going to set this program up, and we'll model it after the Nancy Reagan DARE, the program where kids would even sign a pledge, but you bring people into the community or into the schools, I should say, that are trained, and we get volunteers and we put them in basically a uniform, and we maybe bring a fentanyl kid with them that's gone through it. But this is killing our children, and it's become really right at the top of my list.
One thing that has been certainly a point of emphasis in the last year for the county was redistricting.
Right.
A lot of controversy, contentious issue.
Right.
It's still in litigation. District 2, like the
Right.
other districts, looks vastly different than it has in the past. What's your view on the redistricting process, how it went, and just your overall opinion?
If you look back, I remember hearing a gentleman who worked with Bruce Gibson about redistricting 10 years ago when they had the opportunity. That I believe that's what they did. I believe that this is fair. Somebody is always a winner and always a loser, but if you look at about 35,000 people per of the 5 different districts. I like the idea of, I've been to Santa Margarita, I've knocked on doors, I've been to Atascadero, I've been to Cambria, up into San Simeon, and over down to Santa Margarita and part of Templeton. So I think it's a good district, and I feel that you can't make everybody happy, but I don't think it was a horrible disservice to anybody.
Final question. A vote for you would be a vote for what?
Getting things done. First of all, I'm not a politician. But I believe in the United States of America. I believe we're in a fight for the soul of our country right now. And the divisiveness I see at the national level, and I also see it here. And so one of the things I believe that we can do, and my goal would be to get the facts, because we all want the same things. I think that we can get on that Board of Supervisors, and the goal would be to be voting 5-0 on as many things as we can. Fentanyl, is there anybody that's against setting up a program for that? Is there anybody against having our streets clean and having our police, professional, good police, having enough sheriff's officers taking care of our first responders? So my feel is a lot of this divisiveness has been created, and we're getting this attitude, us against them. And you're not going to always come together, but we need to strive as a nation at that level. So I believe that I know how to execute, how to get things done, bring people together. 30 years in the United States Marine Corps. I was a commanding officer of a Marine Corps squadron for 3 years. When we had to go to the field, we execute, and there's not time to make mistakes. So I feel that those are some of the skills that I would bring, and I do it with God in my heart. I bring it as a man that loves this country, and I will do what I feel is right, and what our Constitution, I believe, is being stomped on in many ways, but it is still in force. And second to the Holy Bible, the Constitution is an unbelievable document.
Thank you, Colonel Whitworth. Appreciate it.